Hey guys, good afternoon. Hope you can hear me. Hope all of you are doing great. And since there's a very short delay, I'll have to wait for the answer. So while I'm waiting, let's start. Someone give me yes. We have news coming up in 30, 45 minutes time. It's the US dollar news, unemployment claim. We don't normally trade the news as such, but we do trade the momentum that can be created during the news. Now, I am not sure that is a strategy we can use here to trade generally in YouTube. It's a 1 minute strategy and it's pretty aggressive. So, hi Johan, thanks. Hi Vic, thanks. By the way, I just got the messages, so there's a really long delay. So, what I'll do for my traders, you know how to fix the strategy. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up the trades. You will put your entry order where it should be, how it should be. We will 5 minutes before the news. I'm gonna go to the 1 minute, and I'm gonna help you manage the trades. Right? We can't do this generally in the big public. I think you guys know why. Right? So let's go. For the general public, just watch how we do it. Enjoy, have fun, relax, get your chips. Watch how we trade. That's why we invite you so that you can learn what we do. And if you do join us anytime, either as an installment trader or as a full-time trader, you can get to do this. While we're waiting for more traders to join, I will go. Allow me 1 minute to tell you about the group because there's a lot of messages asking me about the group after I mentioned it the last time. Some new traders are wrong and they're asking like, what is your group? What your group does, and the whole process of joining and what we do because there's some new people who found the video and they're quite interested in that. It would be good if you could share the video to more people because according to one message from one trader that I got, he said he found it and he just after he found the first video, he went and he looked like about four more videos, and he is pretty much surprised that he only found me now. Like literally, his entire thing is about how surprised he is that he's been trading for a number of years and only now he found my video. So it's all up to us to get those videos to more traders because I think this is one of the trader who's definitely going to join us either as an installment or as a full-time trader. Depending on his capacity, I don't know. But he is definitely joining after finding the video for only 1 day. And he is not a new trader. He's been trading for a couple of years. So that says a lot. That says the traders who even have experience. And these videos are actually for experienced traders, not so much for new traders. If you're absolutely new, you probably need about a year experience before you can make use of these. So you're not going to be able to use it, stick around and learn more before it actually makes a difference, right? So what is the group? We have a group of traders. They're all active traders in the group because every year we filter the group. Which means if you're not, and not every year, during the year, every couple of months we filter the group. If you're not an active trader, you're not actively participating in the group, you're not watching the videos, you're not logging into the group and all of that, you get deactivated. You don't get removed from the group, you get deactivated until you become an active trader again, and then we reactivate you. Right? Literally, that's the process because we want to make sure that the group is having active traders. Right? We had more than 1,000 people at one time. But about 700 of them were not doing anything. They were literally not trading, not doing anything. People who bought the course and left, people who bought the course and are reselling it and all kinds of stuff. Trolls and all kind of thing were in there. And we decided we want to make a professional group. A group where there are active traders who really care about trading, want to learn this stuff, and participate. You still don't get 100% participation in all the webinars or so, but these are people who actually watch the video. So we know they're active. Once you join the group, let me see if I can bring it down very quick. Oh, I have it on message. Let me bring it to general and I'll bring it down very quick so you have an idea what the group looks like and what we do in there. So this is what the groups look like. It's on Workplace. When you log on, there's a general group for general conversation. Right? We have all the daily recordings are here. These are the daily recordings. If you're an installment trader, you get these daily recordings. Everyone is there. This is the access to the trading room. I don't think I should open that one. That's a bad idea. Anyway, we're changing the access so it wouldn't work. That's where the access to the trading room goes. All the information about the trading room you need goes. These are all special recordings. Like if there's a special topic that comes up or the people have questions, we will put special recording in here. It's not opening for whatever reason. I don't know. That's my site. You would have testing groups that we have, and these are all charting groups where people put out chart for analysis, chart for 1 hour setups, chart for 4 hour setups, a bulletin board, and all the traders. So basically everything you need we can create a group for. We have had group for all kinds of stuff. And the watch list is where active trades are actually posted. So when we do, after the daily webinar, when we do more sessions and we're looking at active trade, short recordings of the active trades themselves are posted in here as a watch list trade. You get access to all of this, as well as you get access to the trading room 24/7. The trading room is never closed. It's always open 24/7. There are not always people in the room, but it's always open. And any one of you, if you're a full-time member, have access to go in there and invite all the traders to join you at any given time. I'm there at least 3 times a day. That's the Asian session, the London session, the New York session. I do come in between when there are news events, and sometimes when things are moving fast, I will go in the room to assist the guys. There are always very, very experienced traders in there. Successful, experienced traders who are always in the room, willing to help you. So if you have a question, if you're struggling, if you need, you can go there. All the previous classes, by the way, I forgot to show you, all the previous course we did are recorded. Everything is recorded. Everything we do in this group is recorded. All the previous courses are recorded, and the records are stored there for you to watch them. This course will be totally different from all the course that I did before. Okay, this course, the last one we did was based on mostly patterns. This one is going to be based on how you trade the patterns. So basically, this one will be focused around trading. If you want to learn wave analysis and you want to learn to trade it, this is your chance to join. The next course might be next year. I'm not sure. And let's hope there isn't a pandemic, because if there's a pandemic, it all goes down the drain. The year that there was pandemic, we didn't do any course. I didn't think for a whole year and a half we didn't do any course. So if you would like to join us, send me a Skype message. My Skype is MANGAL457, but you can also find it in the description. If you don't have Skype, the description has a link. You just click on the link, it will download Skype for you, and you can join us. Okay, I think that's enough. Thank you for the 5 minutes you give me. Let's go. Let's start. We have news coming up in the USD, so we look at all the dollar pairs. I'll show the setup on the pairs we have, and then from there we will go. So let me just reset my screen since I just moved around. Good. So I hope all of you are doing great. Let's start. Dollar index. Dollar index broke the top, and we're pulling back. So this pullback here could either be an expanding flat, that's one option you'd go with, or we're totally going down. This could totally be going down. And if it is going, if you're in this buy, you're already out of that buy, so I'll take this out. And if we're going down, the question is, where would we go to? So let's assume breaking the top is all you need to have, and this one is trying to go back to make a new low. Then we'll have to put a sell setup somewhere, right? I don't know, we'll go with a sell. We don't have a sell setup, we don't have a buy setup, we don't have any setup. So if you're going to take the trade, and since it's a news event, you could either buy it or you could either sell it. Based on what we have here, both sides are possible. But as we look at each cross, you're going to probably find that both sides are not possible. Silver. Silver short term, I think we're going to go up. We'll go for a buy because we have a kind of a flat forming here. I think short term we should go for the buy. This looks like it could come back here one more, but in the news we would not trade it downwards. In the news we're going to trade it upwards and see how far it goes. Not a fact that it's going to go very far. It might be a short reaction if there is any reaction. 80% of the time there is no reaction during the news. And we know this because we trade it every time. Every possible news event that is a high impact, we trade. So 80% of the time, nothing happens. 20% of the time, it moves, but it doesn't move far enough for us to get a good trade. Remember, we're trying to catch momentum, so there has to be huge momentum. So I would say with this pattern, there's a possibility that they go one more like this. and that would be from here. So it wouldn't be a big move, but it's a tradable one if it goes. If it's coming down, we can't trade it in the news, but we'll trade it after the news. Gold, good. So remember this morning I said be careful, gold is more likely going to go up. Even if it goes down here, we're not selling it. Well, it turned out we were right about not selling it because it didn't go down. There wasn't much of a buy setup. We're getting this. So gold literally looks like a sell setup now because we've got one, we've got two, we've got three. We've got exactly what we want. Where would you put a sell? Well, you can't put it under the low because the downside is limited. So you probably have to put a sell somewhere. You would have to figure out that this is news event. So you'll have to figure out where you put the sell somewhere for the down one. All right? This is not, by the way, let me make a disclaimer. This is not a trade anyone should put on. This is just how we would trade it for my traders so they can figure out what to do. In terms of trading out of the news, there is no trade setup here. We would have to wait for this to come here. We'll have to wait for a flag, and then we will take that flag down to the bottom here. If this is going to go up, we'd have to wait for it to break out of this. We'll have to wait for a correction, and then we'll trade it. So we don't have a buy setup either. I'll put this as a sell for now, waiting for a sell. I'll put this waiting for a sell, but you can actually sell it if, using the strategy to get it. Like I said this morning on the euro, if it comes here and it consolidates, it's a buy. It has to come back to this top, consolidate here, and then it becomes a buy. Good. So now we've got a buy setup in the euro and pretty much gone very far. So I am not sure that we have a lot more. All I think this is going to do is come back to this top. It's going to break that top. I don't think we're going to break this top, but we're going to definitely break that top. I don't think this would be a trade during the news. After the news, if we get a pullback, that would be a good trade to go with. In terms of trading it here for the news, yeah, not a good idea. So if it goes without us. The downside is not there. I think we wait for a bigger flat. Probably wait for something like this. Wait for it to stop and do something like that, and then that trade would be a perfect one tomorrow. The news might most likely be a non-event and nothing happens. Pound. Definitely a sell. Go for the sell. We really don't have a flag, but there's this very small one here. I will just randomly put the entry order. That's not where it should be. You put the entry order where it should be. Right? You know how to trade this. And we are going for a sell setup. So the expectation is this is going to drop like this. If it goes up, we can't get that trade. We are not going to take the buy. We're going only for the sell now. One more drop, break the low, take it off. If it happens. Right? If it drops, break the low, take it off. That is for the sell. By the way, if you notice, we are trading the news, and I never mention what the news is, and I never mention what we expect to happen during the news, and I never mention if the news is positive or negative, what we are going to do. Because we do not care about that. That is useless ideas. And the traders, especially retail traders, I'm not talking about hedge fund managers and bank managers and, I don't know, people who work for the government and all those people who get paid to talk nonsense. Especially when retail traders come on and they put that thing on and they start to tell you, well, okay, this is the news and this is what I think this person is going to say and this is how the market is going to react. It kind of make my day. Because I like humorous things. I like to watch comedy, comedy shows and so they make it funny for me because they have no idea what they're talking about. They literally have no idea what they're talking about. These guys are really, really crazy when they start to do that. They have no idea what the market is going to do, regardless of what you think the news is going to be, positive, negative, how the market is going to react to that, no one knows. And even if you try to predict it, using the news, there is a problem in how you're going to trade the news itself. What we do is we stick to the strategy we are trading, except now it's a momentum strategy, and it's only based on patterns. So as far as I'm concerned, with news or no news, I'm looking for a sell setup down. As far as this piece is concerned. The only difference in the news is that the news is going to go really fast, and if I'm trading it out of the news, it's going to go slower. That's all the difference for me. It doesn't make any bigger difference than that. So we will still be looking for a sell after the news. Aussie? Aussie is going up quite a lot. Nothing new. We anticipated that. You kind of make a flat here now. Remember when we were trying to see if this is going to sell. If it goes up there and pull back, it becomes a flat for a buy. If any one of you are in the buy, great. You will have to take it off in front of the news. I don't think you have enough to keep it. And we will see whether it drops or whether it just goes up. Now, big picture Aussie, upside. I remember we're trying to buy this yesterday, so the big picture is upside. But because we have a consolidation here, we'll go for a sell. I think this is a good place to put it. We'll go for a sell setup. We'll make the assumption that this is going to drop one more. We're going to make the assumption that this is going to drop one more. And if it drops one more, we won the trade. If it's going up, we're not going to buy junior news, but we'll wait for any flag after that and then we'll buy it. New Zealand. Yep, it's kind of pulled back pretty deep. They made one flat and then we're making another flat here. I think it's a flat. I think we can agree that this is not an upside structure as yet, so it's a sell setup. You would either be under the low. I don't think this is a good idea putting it somewhere here. We'll stay under the low. If we don't get it, we don't get it. If it's going up, we have to wait until it literally go up, make a flag, and then go for the buy. So if we were trying to go up, big picture is upside. I think I would like this to go up. But because we got so much consolidation here, there's a chance it's going to drop one more before that happens. So if it drop one, we take the trade and then we look for the upside. Yen, good. Good for all of us. We have a counter trade. This is what we call a counter trade. It's a sell setup. It's still a sell setup. I think we have enough to put it under the low. You guys can set that up. But it's a sell setup because we have a move down. Sorry. We have a move down and we have a flat there. Now, we know that during the news, we're not going to find, if it's a dollar reaction and it's the dollar news, yen is not going to go down if Aussie is to go down. So only one out of those two can go down. And that is why if we have the majority of them showing the sell setup, which is dollar weakness, but this one is showing dollar strength, we call this the counter trade and we will put it as a sell because it is a sell setup. We don't care about the news. This is a sell setup for now, so that would be a sell here. So this would go for a sell. But Swiss. Okay, it's coming down without going to the top. Can we get a drop without going to that top? Put it like this. And yep, that is possible. If we keep this as the pattern we're getting right now, then that pattern seems downside, right? This looks like a flat for downside. Can it go up one more? Yeah, this can go up one more. We can buy it. It can come and break this top again. We'll go with an expanding flat here. We'll go with this one up, and then we look for the sell still. So right now that's a flat. I would make the assumption that if that is a flat and it's inside all of this, it's inside this one and this one and this one and this one, we're going to be here for a while. So the drop is going to be one single move if it drops now. If this drop now, we're looking for one single move down. That is going to be this one and then up again. If it goes back up, we're not going to be buying it. But if it goes back up here, it's just going to come about that top. And then we're still likely going to get the one more drop here. It's just becoming a more complex pattern. And I think this might be the core correction. So we're going to stick with that, or you're going to stick with this. For the trade, you go for a sell setup. It's not a big trade, so I'm not sure we will take it. We might skip it. CAD. Buy setup. This morning it was here, and I told you we wanted to come back down to the bottom here, and then we'll be buying it. Well, it's already coming down, and it came down pretty much, assuming it's a running flat. If you were there this morning and you realize why we didn't want to buy it to the top there, because it has to come back here for us to buy, well, a lot of trades, when I said, okay, this is at the top, we're not buying it, we wait for it to come back here, and then we look for a buy. One of the questions I always get from traders who are not wave analysis traders, why do you think it's going to go back there? Because we've seen that a million times. We have seen it here, and we've seen it come back here. Most traders will jump into buy there, get themselves in trouble, and then we go here. And you may say, but you always buy breakout. Yep, we do. But which breakout you buy? That's the point. You have to understand the pattern before you know which breakout you're buying. We're not buying this breakout. That's not breaking out of anything. That's part of the pattern that's incomplete. It has to come back to the bottom here. And now we will buy the breakout. So now this entry goes above the top. If it goes now we won the trade. It can stay here longer. This thing can stay here much longer than, then this little flat. But if that little flat is to take off, we want to take this out, and we're expecting this to take off like a rocket. If it goes, most likely it's a non-event, and this thing is going to just come down slowly, slowly, slowly here, and then we'll get the buy from here to the upside. Or we will stay in this correction for a while more. Go up, back, come back down, go up, come back, go up, come back, and then take off. Yeah, I've seen this thing stay in the consolidation for a very, very long time. When we thought this one was going to drop, see, we thought this was going to drop, and then it stayed here, it stayed here, it stayed here, and then go up there, and then it came down. Not for one single moment we didn't think this was not going to go down. It was pretty clear to us it was going to go down. So this one, pretty clear upside. At least for now, we don't have any sell set up. So this would be the buy. Which actually, if you're taking the yen sell and the CAD buy, that's not a bad counter pair to go with. So for my trader setup for the indices, if you want to look at those, let's see, US oil. Okay, it went up one more. I would just go with this as one more up, not for the total upside. There was a flag here. This one didn't drop, so it ended up being a flat. If you were in the sell, and some of you were in the sell from this morning, from this point, some of you were in the sell, I think you had a lot of time to decide to get the hell out of that, right? I talk a lot about that during this free session, but my traders know the rule. I still think this is a sell setup. I still don't see the buy in it. Now, the sell is a pretty easy one. I'll take this off and I'll take this off. If you're going for the sell, put an entry somewhere here. Let it go. If it's going up for the buy, forget about the buy. The news wouldn't drive it that much for us to get a good buy setup. At least not based on the pattern we're looking at. But for the sell, it's a good idea. So we'll go with a sell now. If it goes up, not your problem. You're not in the trade, that's it. S&P 500. Oh boy, this is already moving. Not good. We want the buy, but we don't have a buy setup because this already moved out, and because you're doing 1, 2, 3, you still have this and this, and we can assume this is by itself. That is like a correction of its own, but you still have to come back here before you. So there's still one more down. It's not really a sell. I don't think we should go for any sell with this coming back here before we go up, and we don't have any buy setup right now. I really like it to come back down before we get the buy. Let's see if we have it in the US 30. Same problem. No setup. We have this. You got a 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3 down. Kind of go up, pull back. You could either put it with this one or you could put it with this one. You got a 1, 2, 3 up. And be surprised, make a 1, 2, 3 down. That would be a perfect setup for upside. I'd give you this move. We don't have a trade at the top there, so I think we'll skip it. Can we sell it for the downside for what? For a single drop? Yeah, not really best idea for one single drop sell, because I'm not sure where, if you put it here, you wouldn't have enough time to get out, so we'll just leave it. We'll just stay out of this one, right? So we'll stay out of all of those. And let's see the last one, NASDAQ. The same thing, we've got one single sharp move down here, and you've got 1, 2, 3. So this has to come back here, make a flat, and then we can buy. So if we get this pullback during the news, we'll be looking for a buy setup. We're not looking for a sell setup as yet. So I can probably put it. I hope the news drop this to the bottom, not very much. And then we'll be looking for this trade to the upside. I don't think we'll get a good sell setup. You guys would have to decide that on yourself, but I don't think the sell setup would be a good idea from where it is there. So let's see. I don't think it's going to drop to the bottom because we have a big flat and an impulse there. So that would probably create a pattern. Right? Okay. So you guys set up your trades and we will wait. I can tell you which one I'm doing. I'm doing the yen, the CAD buy yen sell. Those are my choice. You make your choices and we're going to go. Okay, we have 2 questions. Would you review NDX as possible wave? BX up to, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. BX up to that area and find resistance, and one more wave CY down. Okay, so you missed, I think you missed my morning session. right? You missed the session this morning. You should watch it. Watch the entire video. It's very long. You should watch at least close to the end, and you're gonna get my thoughts on all the wave counting and the pattern you have. We have news in 20 minutes, so I'm gonna take a quick couple minutes and see where you wanted this one. Tell you what I think of the pattern, and ready to go. NDX, right? Nasdaq. We just showed Nasdaq here, right? It's the same one. Is it Nasdaq 100 or NDX? It's the same thing. I thought that was a separate one. Right? It's pretty much the same thing. So this is what I see in this pattern. Come here and then go back up. I have no idea whether we'll count them the same way you count, right? We probably might count them differently, but this is the way I'm looking at it. This should drop here then go. Now, the big picture is upside. Sometime this takes off, but I don't think we will have a really good advantage of putting an entry order for the buy. So if it moves up, we'll wait for after the news and then go with it. Right? I'll come back to counting and all of that later if you guys have the patience. But I guess it's the same people in here who were this morning. If you missed it, watch that webinar. It's really, really educational at the end of it. Bitcoin, please. We don't really trade Bitcoin during the news, but we have time, so I'm going to do Bitcoin for you quick. And then after the news, we'll do everything. Once the news is over, we're going to. So Bitcoin, buy setup. If you were in yesterday, let it come, break the low, and then go back up for the buy. You can put an entry order above the top there now because that's the best entry. The entry you should have got is the 15-minute straight from here. If you're in from that one, put it to break even. I think they should break out. Now, there's a chance it can go down more, right? They can stay here for a longer time. And I know this cryptocurrency tend to consolidate longer. But this is going to high chance of breaking out. So put your entry above the top. Let's see what else you have. Finally, I met you. Yes, I'm pretty glad to meet you too. If you're in Dubai or close to Dubai, come over. We'll have coffee. Definitely. I meet all the traders who want to meet me. I have no objection. We did BTC. Great. Thank you. So, Oleg, watch that one. All of you should watch it if you miss it. Because there was a question about counting and everything, and I kind of elaborate. I showed some example why we don't do all of that. And you'll start to understand it better. Wave analysis. If you watch that. So, let's go back to what we were doing, trading. So, after the news, it's only in 15 minutes. I can still take some more questions. In 15 minutes time, we'll go back and do that. Give me 1 minute to set up my trades. I'm going to set the yen sell, dollar yen sell, and the CAD buy. All our traders will choose their own trade. Not necessary that we trade the same thing. Because we look at a lot of charts and then traders decide which trade they like. Right? This is a running flat, so the entry goes here, the stop goes here. And remember, this is news event, so this thing could get really crazy. If you've never done this, don't do it. Don't follow. Just watch what we do. Don't follow it. N3 3282, right? Okay, that yen is already coming down. That is not good. You never want to be tagged by this trade before the news. We need this thing to go back up 20 pips, 30 pips. So, I hope this one here goes. Sorry, let me just stay. Yeah, I hope this actually goes back up to the top there, and then this would be a better flat for the sell. So I don't think it's going to go back in the next 10 minutes, but we'll see. Okay, guys, let's get questions. Gold. You from Kuwait? Well, you're nearby. I had a trader who came from Kuwait to visit. If I can remember, that was like 3 years back, if I can remember his name. He was working in Kuwait and he took a trip to Dubai and we catch up. So I have a lot of traders in Kuwait. My name is Anil. So preferable if you use my name rather than the master. I'm a master of wave analysis, but better to use the name. That would be good. Gold. Let's go with gold. Okay, for those of you who just joined, I'll go through everything again. Let's start with the dollar index. Dollar index. It kind of broke the top, and it's pulling back really strong. If we're going to sell during a normal trading without a news event, and you want to sell this, you would wait for this to make a flag and then sell. And the sell would come to break the low. If this is going to continue to go up, then we will have to get some kind of a consolidation here. So right now you're thinking downside, not upside, even if it goes up. Silver, we're thinking upside because we've got this flat here. And this could break out. It could give you an impulse. They could even come above this top. We'll think big running flat. It could go up a lot more. So we're thinking silver upside. Gold, downside. Strangely, gold has a flat here, so we will think we'll go for a trade to the downside. If this goes up, no problem. We will come back because this could be a consolidation of its own, right? This little piece here could be a contracting flat. We don't make forecasts for contracting flat, so even if we assume that's a contracting flat, and this is the down move and that is the up move, we will need a flag to buy. And we don't have a flag. So during the news, if they do this, when they pull back, we'll buy it. Right now, sell setup. Euro. If you're in the trade already, put it to break even if you can. If you're not in the trade, wait for a flag, but it's upside. Pound. Downside. Strangely, Pound made a very deep pullback here, and because of that deep pullback, we would tend to believe this is a flat for downside. Now, it could still go up. This would be a deep pullback, but we will have to wait for it to make a flag here before we can trade that to confirm that it's actually going up. We're not in the business of guessing. We're in the business of give us a confirmation that that is what it's looking for. So right now, it's more of a sell setup. Aussie, sell setup. New Zealand. I would like to believe that New Zealand is trying to go up more for this deeper correction like this, or even to the upside. But there is a huge flat at the bottom. Remember, we broke the low, right? And this thing has become a really big flat at the bottom here. Like really huge, if you put it like that. And the first impulse into it is really small. When that happens, it tends to be a flat. So the probability is more for the downside, which means I believe this is more likely going to drop. Question is, where do you put the entry order? The closest you can be is here. So you can't put a sell here or anywhere closer. And you can't sell it this way. So this one is not the best sell setup in the news. After the news, it becomes a good sell setup. Yen, sell. I would really like to see the yen go back up to this level, make a running flat, and then drop. We will be selling the yen after the news as well. Swiss, sell setup. This could go back up one more, but if we get a flag here, we'll be going for the sell. So the Swiss, if you want to use it for a trade, I think we go for the sell. CAD, definitely buy. So they have conflicting information, and that's good. That's exactly what you want. It doesn't matter what the news is, positive, negative, or what. We are only looking at it in terms of patterns and where we think these pairs are going to go. Right or wrong doesn't matter. The point of this is that if it moves one direction or the other, we will get a trade. We'll absolutely get a trade. If nothing happens, then we don't get nothing. 80% of the time, nothing happens. So, since yen is a counter, we're going to put it on the yen. Right? That's the counter to everything we have. So we're going to put it on the yen. We're going to go to the 1 minute. And we have 11 minutes. That's a lot of time. Let's wait. Any questions? If you guys have any questions, you have 10 minutes to get your questions and let's answer them. So we can do a quick Q&A here while we're waiting. for the news. And after the news, we'll go and look at all the other pairs you want to look at. Everything else. So we can make this a quick Q&A. Any questions, anybody? Okay, so if no questions, we'll have 10 minutes to wait. That's a lot of time. We can look at some pairs then. What I'm going to do is I'm going to review very quick the trade setups we were looking for this morning and what happened to them. I already do all the majors, so we'll exclude that. Let's look at EuroCAD. EuroCAD, we were looking for a sell, right? We didn't have the trade. We had an entry here because this morning we were here, right? And I said if this drop, you want the trade because that would be 1, 2, 3. It is still 1, 2, 3, but we wouldn't sell it anymore. But it will still be a 1, 2, 3. It will be 1, it will be 2, and this would come back from the top to the bottom. So we will wait for this to come back. We will sell it, but we'll sell it from the top here now. We'll wait for a trade from the top, and then we will get one more up. In the big picture, let's go back here. I'm at the 1 minute. So in the big picture of things, this will come back here. We're going to make a new high. And then we're going to expect this down. So let it happen, and then we'll see if we get that buy. We might even look for the sell here, but it will be a shorter term sell if we get it. Euro pound sell, still valid. That has not changed. The pattern changed slightly because this morning we were thinking this is making 1, 2, 3, but they made a consolidation here. So this consolidation is a sell setup. We'll go for it. You can actually put it a little higher if you want. You can actually put this entry order here now. And we're going for a sell setup. Come back to the low here, and then we'll see if it goes back up. Pretty much like this one. Pongos. You should be tagged on the Pongos, but if you remember this morning what I said, is that this move is likely going to happen. So you have to keep your entry, your stop above it, because this might become a flat. When they come here, they go back up there, give you a running flat, and then drop. Right, so watch this morning recording for that. If it tags you and go back up, you don't need to panic. But if you didn't take the trade, great. Put your entry order here. Once this gets to the top, it's gonna go a little more, and we're gonna be getting a running flat for downside. This share should go a little more. So we'll look for something like this, and then we would look for the sell setup from the top going down. We look for the sell setup from this top here going down with a flag somewhere here. Like that, right? So if you're in the trade, let's say you're tagged in the trade. In the first place, we took the trade because these running flats sometimes gets very extended. What do I mean by that? Well, they sometimes drop and drop and drop, and then you get this one, and then you get that running flat. So we do take them. If this is going to pull back, any pullback it makes, what you want to see is you want to see it drop through the bottom. You want to see this literally drop through the bottom. If it starts to pull back as a flag, close the trade, wait for it to go back, maybe even buy it, wait for it to go, and then we look for the sell. We'll try to sell it from here. Let's see if we get that trade. This one you can probably close any pullback to break even, take it off. Pound New Zealand, well, we're still in the sideways and it's literally going back as we expected. You've got this 1, 2, 3, you've got 1, 2, 3, you're going back up for this one, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, and then we look for a sell setup. Right? Then we look for a sell setup here. My problem is that I always panic when I'm tagged. Oh, I see. We actually, if I can remember which video I spoke about that, that was in my trading room. Sorry, this morning in the trading room we were talking about that, but it might be in one of my videos as well. One of the videos we did here where I explained how you can control your emotions. You can't really get rid of emotions, but how you can control it. Watch this morning video. I think I spoke a little about that also this morning. But there is a way to control that and so that you don't panic. Basic thing is knowledge, right? There's only one solution to all your fear, knowledge. Knowing what it's doing is very important, right? So this would be a trade. I would like it to go up a little, and then we're looking for the sell setup. So the sell here should be a good one. Wait for it to go back a little. If it stays here and make a flag, sell the flag. We'll still go with it, but most likely upside. Problem with timing. No, it's not a problem with timing. It doesn't matter where you take a trade, it will pull back against you. And I actually proved that to most of my trades. The only time you don't get pulled back is if the momentum is so strong that it's moving really, really fast. If it's not, then it will always pull back. Look at this thing. This thing always pull back. Look at this. This one pull back, that pull back, this pull back, this pull back. You go there, it pull back here a little. It go there. It will always pull back. It doesn't matter where you enter. You will get tag and pull back. The problem is if you understand what the pattern is actually doing. And if you understand what the pattern is doing, then you don't have to panic during those pullback. The leverage is irrelevant to your trading. I think most traders mistake what leverage is. The leverage is irrelevant to your trading. What is relevant is how much you're risking. And it doesn't matter what leverage you use. It's how much you're risking on your account. So let me do this very quick and then I go. So we go with that. We don't have time. We have 4 more minutes. So I'm going to go back to the yen. I'm going to put it in the 1 minute. We'll continue when we finish the news. I'm going to put this on the 1 minute. And I'm going to explain to you why leverage is irrelevant to how much money you're risking. If you have a 1K account, and I'm going to go with a 1K just for simplicity, you could have a 1-time leverage, you could have a 5-time leverage, you could have a 100-time leverage, you could have a 1,000-time leverage. That is irrelevant to how you're going to trade. Leverage is literally say we could lend you this amount of money, right? You are not trading based on leverage. You're trading based on risk on your account. How much am I risking from my account? How much I'm going to lose from my account in any given trade? So if you plan to lose 1% on any given trade, I'm using 1% simply to simplify it. If you want to lose 1% on any given trade, you just divide this by 100. And that's $10 you're going to lose on any given trade, regardless of what leverage you have. I don't care how much leverage you're allowed to use. When you put your entry and you put your stop and you put the lot size you're putting on, and it comes to your stop loss, you should only use $10. So if they give you 1-to-1 leverage, and your stop loss is 10 pips, well, you shouldn't put 10 pips stop loss, but we're going to make it simple. And your stop loss is 10 pips from where your entry is, then you will have to make sure that every pip is $1. I don't care what leverage. If they give you a 1,000-time leverage and you have a 10 pip stop, you still have to make sure that every pip is worth $1. Your lot size does not change, regardless of what leverage they give you. So if somebody tell me, hey, we can lend you $1 million to do whatever you want to do, and I only need $100, I'll just borrow 100. You don't need to use the leverage. You're given it. All it means is that you will be using up on your money on your side. You'll be using up $1 or you'll be using up $100. That's the big difference. That's the point. Leverage is the broker. Leverage is like for... I know this is a radical way, but I'll put it this way. Like if you're an alcoholic, leverage is alcohol to an alcoholic. You have a lot, so you believe you have to use a lot. So they tell you have 500 to 1, and you believe, oh my God, I could go big because I have 500 to 1 to use. So I can go big. I can put a huge lot here, and then it's going to double my account in a single trade. That's what alcoholic thinks. I'm just going to take one shot, and I will stop. I've never met a alcoholic who stopped at the shot. So leverage is only there if you get drunk with it. If you don't get drunk with it, I don't care what the hell the broker leverage is. I'm concerned with my account and how much I'm risking in my account. That's all. So all the illusions that people tell you and the broker tell you, if it's about knowledge. Trading is about knowledge. Remember what I just said? Everything can be dealt with knowledge if you understand Don't forget, if you go to YouTube and you look at those YouTube videos, sometimes the crazy things you see they do there is not the way of trading. Those are desperate people. I saw one guy said, how to double your account in 3 trades. Okay, we're going up. We're coming back to this. So it's not a big move. If we're going to be looking for the upside, then we'll go to dollar CAD. Right? Not enough to tag me. I should have the entry here, but it doesn't matter. That's not enough to tag. That's not the momentum we're looking for. The momentum we're looking for has to go straight through this in the first minute. So if we don't have momentum, we'll take off this trade and we'll go back to normal trading. Right? Very simple. Nothing happened. This will probably come down a little more. There's a good chance this might just come down a little more and then go. It's still upside. Nothing has changed from now to then, so we'll still go with the upside. I'll wait for it to come down. My ensure there stays, but it will not be the momentum trade anymore. All right, the 1 minute didn't tag, so I'll go back to the 50, 60 minutes, so we'll trade now. That's still a buy setup. That is still a buy setup. The only difference now is I'm going to trade it as a 1 hour trade with my entry here and my stop here for this move to go. It does not change the way I look at this. So we'll go through them again. Now I'm going to go through every single thing after the news. Right? Yep, it was more of a non-event. Nothing happened. So let's go. Dollar index. Nothing changed. It's kind of pushing upwards. It's going upwards. So if the dollar index would be a buy, we could put it like this. If this go break the top, we'll go with an expanding flat. So I would put a buy here as an expanding flat now and nothing. That's a pretty safe trade. If this stays here in this range, and remember I said we can only sell it if it consolidates. So if you stay here and consolidate, in the next couple hours, we'll get a sell setup. But that would demand a couple hours from now, right? Silver. Okay, silver came back to the low. That has not changed the structure from a buy to a sell. All they did was came back to the low here. So it's still kind of a buy setup. The only time this becomes a sell setup now, let's say we take this as a 1, 2, 3, and this is a 1, 2, 3. It's still upside. So the only time this becomes a sell is when you break through this level and start to make a flag here. Then we'll consider that as a sell. And we will go with this as all the correction for downside. That's the only time we're going to go for this as a correction for downside. So right now, you should not be trading this at the bottom here. It has to break through, make a flag, because it can stop right here and go right back up. Gold. So we'll take this out. There's no trade there. Gold sell. If you took the gold sell, wonderful. The gold sell is going great, which means CAD should be going up really nice. I leave the CAD entry there. And if you take the gold sell, put it to positive. I think gold got tagged for my traders. I think, yeah, gold tagged you. Put it to break even and manage your profit because it's not going to go very far. Remember that, right? So good for you. Any one of you took the gold. Keep it here. Watch your profit. Anytime this thing is going to turn, take the profit. Let's see euro. Euro is coming down. If you were in the buy, you took break even. We didn't have an entry for the upside or for the downside. And we still don't have an entry. Pong is a sell setup. It's actually a long-term trade. If you took the Pong, get it to break even and wait for the breakout. So if any one of you took the Pong sell, get that to break even now and wait for the breakout. That's a trade. All right. If you want the Pong trade on the 1 hour, you can literally put an entry to sell here now. That's the 1 hour trade. You can put an entry to sell here now. And when it breaks through this would be your trade. Your stop goes here. Exactly where this stop is, by the way. But this stop now goes to break even, and now we look for this trade. So it did exactly what we wanted to do, but because we're using momentum strategy, we can expect that it's going to drop really fast. So 2 good trades so far. Aussie should be a sell too. Yep. Aussie still a valid sell. We couldn't take it from the top. This is still a valid sell. Keep it right here. If it dropped through, we'll go with the sell. New Zealand. Yep, it's a sell. I don't like it. Don't take this sell. Wait for a flag. I don't like it because momentum is not enough to drive it straight through the bottom. And then from this point, they can still go back up. They wouldn't go far. So wait for a little flag to sell the Aussie. I like this sell, but because of the momentum and all these pullback, let it come here and make a small flag, and then we'll sell it. Yen go back to the top, take out this. It's no longer, it's breaking the top. So as soon as you break the top, we're going to put all of this as consolidation. Break that top, no buy setup. Right? We can make an argument whether this is a good flat here for a buy, but it has to make a flag here before I buy. Remember, we're still pretty much in the channel, some kind of a channel that is expanding downwards. Right? We're in this trade here, and this might just go to the top there and come back. So the risk to reward would not be good. Gold following the arrow in the chart. Yep, they very often do. These arrows are great. So if you're in gold, move your stop again, and be ready to take profit anytime. Let's go. Yen, I wouldn't buy it here until we get a flag. Swiss, yeah, it's kind of going up back. Be careful because Swiss does not have a big trade to the upside. As soon as we break this top here, we're going to go with this as an expanding flat. And as soon as they break that top there, we're looking for a sell setup. So this doesn't have far to go. It could go a little higher, but then we're looking for downside. Right? So this is a consolidation. Structurally, this is a consolidation. So this goes back to the top there. It goes back to the top there. It comes right back down. We'll definitely go for the sell. Take this off. We're going to go for the sell, and we're going to get 1, 2, 3. And we still have these to go back up and come back down. So we'll be in a very, very big sideways move here in this thing. We have found the core correction, so we start the count. Right? Gold is going good. Silver is going down. Silver trade, I don't think we could have got the trade. I really don't like the silver trade from where it is for the downside. So let it go. If it comes here, we will have to go with this is all the correction. Contracting flat, not a good one. I thought they'll go a little higher then come down. So contracting flat, we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got a contracting flat. We're not going very far. When we break that low, think upside. When this low is broken, there's a good chance all of this goes right back up. So this trade is short-lived, right? Be careful. Because it's a contracting flat. In any case, this whole thing is correction within this bigger structure, right? So if you're in the gold, you may also want to manage that to take profit. Let's go CAD. Let's see if CAD tags. It's about to tag. If it tags you, it will go. We'll stay with the CAD trade for a longer one. If they go there and they come back, they'll just be long. If you get tagged here and it starts to come back, if you can get out, get out. But if they start to do this, then they'll probably do this for a while and then take off. I wouldn't be surprised if this consolidation become bigger. But then you will get out of it and we'll start buying from the bottom. We'll start taking the trades from the bottom going up. Euro Oz, we didn't have anything this morning. We want to see more consolidation here, and I still think we want more consolidation in there before we do anything. It's kind of consolidating here. See this? So if they start to do this, it pretty much will come here, go back there, come here, and then take off. We'll get something like this. So we wait for the buy. I don't think we want to sell this. We wait for the buy. EuroCAD. We had a sell set up on the EuroCAD. And nope, take it off. We take off the sell now because we're not going to get this sell. It is going to go down. This is going to go down. But we will not get the sell because it came back all the way to the top, which means that when it comes here, it's going to go back up one more. We're going to get a flat here, and then we're going to go. But if it makes a flag here, we'll sell it. We'll get a good risk to reward trade. So if it stops here and make a flag, we're going to sell this flag, put a stopper, and we're going for 1-to-1 to the bottom. If we're lucky, they drop more, but most likely upside. Bigger picture is downside though. You're in New Zealand, nothing. Nothing, stay away from it. It's still sideways. I think this is all going to be part of a bigger correction. So stay away from it. We'll get the buy setup later. Euro yen. Yeah, it's still in a big sideways move. And I don't think this one is starting the upside as yet. It should have been an upside from here, but that's a contracting flat. So it could either consolidate much more, which means it could come back here and stay for a while. So we're not trading it. Euro Swiss. Okay. So it didn't actually go anywhere, but it's still coming down, right? It's still coming down slowly. So let it come here. And then we would look for that trade up. All right, we're going with a 1, 2, 3. There's a good chance you could get this and you could get this, which means you could go up here, come back here, and then go. That would be a really nice flat. So we will look for a buy setup here. The sell setup is literally over. Let it just go a little more, and then we look for the buy setup. Euro pound, still valid sell. The sell is still valid from this point. Pound Oz. Okay, that sell is off. Well, it's going back up. So if you manage to take it off, good for you, because it did pull back. See this pullback here? If you use the pullback to close the trade, you did well. You should have, because now this is going to go up here, and then we're going to get this sell set up. If not, no need to panic. It's going to come here, and then we're going to go for the sell setup. So from there, we'll start to look for a sell setup to the downside. You can actually see, here's a version of that thing. 1, 2, 3, go up. Come down, 1, 2, 3, go down. Not that difficult. You have another one here, right? So, pound New Zealand, same thing. This should go back, and then we get a sell setup. This should go back one more to the top here. Get back to like this here, and then we're looking for a sell setup. So we'll wait for it to go and then get the sell. Pound yen. Yeah, we're looking for the sell setup already. Pound Swiss. Okay, if you're tagged in this, it's still a good trade. And the long term, stay with it for a while. Now it has to drop through the bottom. Because if it's not dropping through, if this is not going, like really, sorry. If this is not actually dropping through, but instead doing this, you probably want to take it off and wait for a flag. But if it drops, go with the trade. Pound CAD. Okay, wait for a flag. Wait for this to make a small one. You can leave the entry here. Nothing is wrong with that, but you want this to make a small flag here. And then we will sell this flag to the downside. That'd be a good one. Right, so if we get a small flag, great. We'll go with that trade. Aussie CAD. It came up a little higher. No problem, still a sell setup. Wait for a flag here, sell it. Let's see if it makes a flag here. And then we can go with this straight to break the low. Without the flag, don't jump in, because this could be a running flat that goes right back up. So you want that one to confirm that it's not making a running flat for upside. You're actually making a flag for downside. I remember this could be the low. This is still open to be the low. You could look at this like this one here. And this could still be the low, which means this could go back up. Matter of fact, if it starts going back up, we can buy it. If this, for whatever reason, decide to go back up, that would be a buy setup. Now, since it's a contracting flat in front of it, and I don't like contracting flat, I'm leaving it open for the possibility that that contracting flat is wrong and we're making an expanding flat. And to confirm the expanding flat, this would have to give me a flag here. And then we will cancel this possibility and we'll go with that possibility. Pretty easy. Which one? I have no idea. We'll see. All right. Just have to wait. Patience. Aussie Swiss. Okay, if you took that trade, I hope you managed to close it. By rule, you should have. You see how much time they tag you there? Or close it here, or when it break here and go back up, close it. It still looks upside. As a matter of fact, this still looks upside. But you should get rid of that trade. Because this piece is still looking like a flat forming here. So that still makes it upside. Take this off and take this off. Right? If they do drop, I'm not interested in the sell. We already talked about that this morning. I'm not interested in this breaking the low. because we're at the bottom. It has to break through this low and consolidate before we sell. But if it comes here and start to reverse, we'll get the trade. If this decide to go, we'll buy. So you should close that trade and put an entry here for a buy. It's still a solid buy. I'll still go with that buy. If it comes a little more here, and then do that, we want this trade to the upside. So let's see if we get that trade. Cat tagged. Okay, give it some time. It will tag. It will pull back a little. They might, the idea is they should take off, but if they stay there for a while, we'll decide what to do to trade. But on the bigger picture, cat is upside. This has to go a little more. I don't think we're ready for the downside. It was here this morning. We wanted to go. It went a little. We wanted to go a little more. We wanted to go a little. And then we want this trade to the downside. And let's see if we can get that trade. Aussie, New Zealand. Okay, so we'll take this off because it's coming back a lot to the top. I literally want to see this make a flat here. And then we'll consider if we need a buy. So you want this to actually do this. Come here, come back here, give you a flat, and then we can look for a buy setup. As of now, we don't have any trade. The sell is off. New Zealand CAD. I'm going to try to go fast. New Zealand CAD sell setup. Yep, you can put an entry order here now for the sell. We'll put this as a sell. One more drop, and then we're looking for a reversal. Right? This is going to drop one more if you want it. Not a big trade. I can give you an idea. It might just break the low and don't go very far. You might just break this low and don't go very far. And then we're looking for the upside of this thing to go. There's a big move to the upside to come. So if you take the sell, manage it carefully. Right? Because it does look like it can drop. So we will go with the sell and then manage it carefully for the upside. New Zealand yen. A very short trade if you take the sell. It might just do this and then go back up, or it might do this and drop through the bottom. So it's worth taking. The trade is worth taking because we don't know, for those of you who just joined us who didn't watch this morning, we don't know whether this is a contracting flat. If that's a contracting flat, this thing is going to drop like crazy. So you want the sell setup. If it is not a contracting flat and we're making a running flat, then it's likely just going to come about this much and go back, but that will give you break even. So the trade is worth taking. The question is now, can we get the trade from the top here to go? Nope, can't. There's no setup from the top. Wait, keep your entry under the low. And let's wait and see what it does. Right? It could be here for a while. Okay, I hope you guys are taking profit because everything is pulling back already. On the CAD, don't worry, even if the CAD pull back, it is within the correction. It's not going to drop. It is just going to make more correction and then go. So I think that's about it. We don't have anything much here. These were trades we just put on. I'll come and we look at those afterwards. Let me look New Zealand Swiss one alone. Let's do this. Yeah, we didn't have any trade on this morning. And we still don't have any trade. It's kind of broke the low. It's not going up. It's becoming a bigger flat. Just leave it alone. We're making a bigger correction here, and I don't have a big move to the downside. So I'm not interested in the downside, and we don't have a buy setup. See? So we'll just leave it for now. Let it do what it's doing, and then we'll come back to this. CAD, nothing. Kind of a consolidation. It looks one more up, but we don't have a trade setup. Leave it. CAD Swiss. Okay, we kind of drop one more. Yeah, this is what you want to drop. Let's see if we get a trade to the upside now. This is over. Take that off. I think there might be one more downside. Maybe not. Maybe this is all. Let's wait, see if we can get the upside in this trade here now. We pretty much drop. I would go with this as the running flat. 1, 2, 3. If I'm right about that, we're starting to look for a buy setup to the upside. So let's wait and see if that happens. Right? So, okay. Swiss yen. Let's go Swiss yen. Okay, it went up a little more. That doesn't mean it's not coming down because we have 1, we have 2. This one went up as we expected. It broke the top, so good. You have 1, 2, 3. We still have to get this one because I think that one is still part of the move. So wait for a sell setup here. And then if you want the buy, you can go for the buy because then we're going to be breaking out of this pattern. Come here and then upside. We're looking for the sell. From the top there, we'd look for a sell setup, see if we get it. It should come back down for one more and then go. So we'd look at that, right? Okay, so I'll take a break here now. Let's take some questions and then we'll continue. Let's see what the questions are. Oh, it was yesterday in the New York session about fear. Thanks, Danny. So go look yesterday New York session videos. All these videos have some very nice things for you guys. You should watch them and share them. Okay, that is about it. Let me see. Yeah, I think most of you got that correct in terms of the lot size. So the brokers are trying to, here's the deal with the broker. They want you to bring on your small account and donate it to them. So if you can come on with a $500 account and use a 500 time leverage, the broker is very happy. He'll give you 1,000 time leverage because he is assuming that you're not very sure what to do and you're going to go big and you're going to lose your account very fast. And pretty much that's how 90%, 99% of the broker make their money. I already mentioned that. Brokers are going to hate me very soon. They're not going to like me very soon. They already don't like me, I assumed. And they're literally going to start, say, you should shut up, literally, because that's what they want. They want you to lose your money. 90% of the brokers who approach me to be IBs and to be all kinds of stuff for them and to bring traders to their account, I always tell them, I am not interested, no matter how much they offer, and they offer quite a lot. You'll be surprised. And I always say to them, here's what I can do for you. I will do free webinar for you, educational webinar for all your traders. And if you want to attract more traders to your platform, let's do a big free webinar. So if there's a broker watching this, that's my offer to all the brokers. Let's do free educational webinars for your traders and all the traders out there. You can be the sponsor of that webinar. And if you're a really good broker, you're just going to tell traders how nice you are and they will join you. Don't let me tell them to go join you. I don't know how nice you are. You tell them yourself. I will educate them. Guess how many brokers took up that offer? One. One single broker. And I get offer from brokers at least 3 times a week from different brokers. Some brokers write me like 10 times. I haven't even replied to them as yet. Offering all kinds of stuff, to be IBs, to be this or different thing, to be partners, to be all kinds of stuff. Not my thing. I'm never going to tell any trader which broker to go use. That's your choice. I can tell you, do your due diligence, do your research, make sure that broker is well capitalized. Make sure the broker has an honest one. Test him in a demo. See how he works, basically. The demo might not show clearly, but do a small account and see how that works and, how the broker behaves, how he tags you, how much slippage you get, how much you can actually go to the broker chart and see how many wicks he has that doesn't exist anywhere else. If your broker chart is showing a lot of wicks that doesn't exist in any normal chart, run. Because those wicks are actually to take out stop losses. They wick you out, especially as it comes close to your stop loss. Those are not very honest brokers. So that's what I can say about brokers. And I would willingly do webinars for any broker that approach me if they take up the offer. So far, none of them are taking up the offer. Once I say educate broker traders, that's the end of it. They will say, okay, we'll get back to you. We don't want educated brokers, they're traders. Why would a broker want educated traders? Traders who understand what leverage is, how to use it, traders who understand wave analysis, traders who understand how to manage trades. They don't want that. That's not in their interest. They want you to go and lose your account. That's pretty much in their interest. Okay, let me see. Scadian still valid for a sell. I think we just did that. Let me go back and take a quick look. Not as yet. I think let's keep an eye on this piece. See, this piece here is making a flat. It's making a flat there, but we have a few sharp moves remaining. See that? Kind of get a flat here. it should go up a little more. This should go up a little more for the flat. But then you have this move and you still have that sharp move. So if we're going to get a sell from the top, then it would make sense. If you get this sell from here, if it comes here and then it gives you a sell here, this would make sense, because by the time you break this for this move down, by the time you do that, if they're going to make a sharp pullback for this, you would be able to get it for positive, right? So let's see, that would make sense. That would literally make sense if it can do that, right? Can you take a look at the bigger picture on US stock? Okay, we'll do that as soon as we finish some of these. Let's go see what we have in some of these. What else we're looking at? Congrats on the gold sell. Okay, I hope you guys are making money. Let's see if the gold, if you move your stop, it should still be going. Let's see what it's doing. Yep, still going. Just move your stop. It's going much more than I expected to go. So good for you. Still move your stop though, because at any point in time that thing will start to go back up. This is not sustainable to the downside for a long period of time, right? Because you can see we're in this move here, and we've got a few sharp moves here that we don't have anything for. So at some point one of those sharp moves is going to happen, right? When it stops, it's going to go back up, and then we'll start to get a downside. So there's a good chance. It went much more than I expect, but then there's a good chance one of this is going to come. So keep your eyes on that. Silver is dropping a lot. Silver would have been a good trade to take, but we didn't have a good entry. I don't think this was a good entry at that point. Well, it's kind of at the bottom here now. And once you're there, from this point here, we're literally going to be looking for a buy setup. So keep your eyes on that for a turn as well. Let's see what else is dropping. Pong is dropping. Aussie is dropping. Aussie is normal trade now. You could go to normal. You don't have to trade this in the news. This is normal sell. You should be in the Aussie sell already. Should be tagged in the Aussie sell to the downside. Watch it when it breaks this low. So we're literally thinking Aussie should go one more. You could get a drop like that, and then you should get the upside. New Zealand should be dropping also. Let's see. I don't like the New Zealand sell. I think let's take this off. We pull that entry order because this piece will need a flag. Too much clusters in here, so we'll need a flag. Let's see if we get a flag to the upside. And New Zealand downside is not a big move, at least not as yet. So wait for a flag under the low to confirm that they're going to go much more. That would be a better trade. But you have enough good trade moving. So the New Zealand, take the Aussie, you don't have to take the New Zealand. Take the CAD, you don't have to take anything else. Take the dollar pong for the sell. If you took the dollar pong for the sell, good. That one is going great. You have two sells, right? You had the news one, and you have the one for the 60 minutes after the news. Both sells are going good. In a little while, you can put this to break even, and you'll be looking to take profit from that. Once we see they once this down move stops and start to consolidate. Right now, it's still going. There's no reason to do anything with it. See? Ethereum, Bitcoin. That's a different one we look at just now. Is it better to build my trades on 1 hour time frame or higher? The choice is yours, where you feel comfortable. You can build trades on any time frame. Make sure that you trade the time frame that makes you feel comfortable. Trading is about feeling comfortable when you're trading. If for whatever reason you put a trade on and it's triggering an emotion, then you take it off. Right? If for whatever reason when you're trading you're getting anxious, you're feeling fear, you have to stop doing what you're doing. When you're trading, you have to be thinking logically. You have to feel that comfort. You have to understand what's happening. You have to say, well, okay, I can deal with this. Right? If it's not like you don't have any fear, but it should not be a factor in your trading. Fear should not be an emotion that is triggered while you're trading. If fear is your emotion, then you're in problem. You're doing it wrong. Stop doing what you're doing. And there are many things you might need to change. I specifically can't tell you which one now until I know what you're doing in your trading. But you notice we put all this trade on and fear wasn't a factor. There was no point in time where I was saying, okay, be careful, be scared of this, or I'm looking scared, or I'm worried or so. Because we have very practical things we're going to do if the trade is not going your way. That's simple. We have very strict rules of what we're going to do in any given situation. And the situations are going to come up. We know what situations can come up. and we know how we manage those trades. That's what we teach you to do, so that you become a better trader and you manage your fares and you manage everything else. Right? Let's go. I would like to be for daily training, please. How to join? If you would like to join us for the training, send me a Skype message. At the top of the video, I put the Skype, or in the description of the Skype, send me a Skype message and I'll send you all the details. We're starting the course on Monday, so if any one of you can afford to and would like to learn this stuff and want to join us, you may want to do that now. Because Monday the course starts. And that course, that's the first time for this year we are doing it. First time in about a year we are doing it. And the next one might be in November or even till next year. You can join the group anytime. Literally, there are traders who joined the group since January waiting for this course. It means while they're in the group, they get access to the past recordings, the courses that we did previously, and they get to learn and they get to watch that and they get a live trading and they get access to everything. So you're not losing anything. It's a one-time payment. The earlier you paid, the better it is. Somebody who joined my course, my group 5 years ago, pays the same amount of money you will pay if you join it now. But he has 5 years access to it already. He's been making profit in the group for the last couple of years, being in there, learning all this stuff. And you are now only joining. Anyway, you still have a lot of years ahead of you, so don't worry. That's the whole point. The earlier you join, the better it is. So everything's still going good. Nothing to worry about. What else are we looking at? Okay, Euro trade. We didn't take the sell, but be careful. If you're in the sell for whatever reason and you want to took it, this drop just sharp. This is still correction. This here is all correction. We didn't have a setup for the news to take the trade, and we don't have a setup now. Now that you broke that, we'll go with probably an expanding flat here. And this is going to go back up very soon. Right? Because this now has become the most corrective part of this thing. This here has become the most corrective part. This looks relatively sharp to that, so we want this to go back up there, come back here, and then continue to the upside. So the downside on this is limited now how much more it can go. So you want to be careful if you're in that. As a matter of fact, most of them looks very limited to the direction they're going right now. Okay, let's hope. What else? Yeah, we'll do them again. Let's go look at them. We didn't trade them because the setups for the trade weren't that great. So this one did come back. See the magic how it works? Remember why I said why we can't buy it at the top there? We wanted to come back down here and then we would look for the buy. Magic, right? But we couldn't sell it because in the news you don't have a risk to reward in selling it. Right? There's a specific strategy we were using for trading in the news, and this one couldn't be sold in the news. Although we think it's going to come down. So now what you look for your buy setup. That's exactly what we want. We wanted to come here, and now we'll be looking for a buy setup. Right? So it did exactly what we wanted to do. Magic, right? It was here, and we were like, okay, let it come back here, and then we'll buy it. Good, it's back there now. What do? Look for your buy setup. Wait for it to turn, wait for the small flag, get in the trade. So this would be a buy setup. We have it there already. Sorry, US 30. Same thing. The reason we couldn't take it there is because we wanted to come back here. It probably should be a 1, 2, 3. It will be a running flat like this now. So here's what you want this to do. You see this came down 1, 2, 3. You see this, they kind of do some more here, but this went up 1, 2, 3. You want this to actually go back here, drop there, and then we get the buy setup. Right? This would be perfect for this trade up. Bigger picture upside. We'll go to the bigger picture. The bigger picture in the daily is upside. See this? Once this is finished, once you finish this, this is going to go up. Bigger picture could be downside. If you get this as a flat, if this turned out to be a flat when it goes back up there, you could be heading for the downside. Right? This piece could be heading for the downside. Because we made 1, we made 2, we made 3. And if this starts to come down back, you probably will come back to retest this low. All of this will either be part of a bigger correction in the future. Something like this. Pretty much the same thing like we had there. Kind of a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this comes back here for a 1, give you a 2. Come for a 3 and then go. That'll make sense. So right now, because of what we're doing here, that's the most likely. So first you have to go up. Come to the 4 hour now. First, See this, with this flat complete itself, it dropped. You're making correction here. This correction has to come back here. Go back up there, complete this one, and then drop. And then you have the bigger picture forming, right? Should probably be the same thing here in NASDAQ. NASDAQ could go up though. Bigger picture NASDAQ is upside. Let's see in the daily what it say. Daily break the top. NASDAQ is coming back to this top. We might even break the top. This could actually have been all the correction to the downside, right? Like a 1, a running flat here for a 2, a 3, and this is going up. Right? You see this is already going up. If you put this here for a running flat, that would be a perfect one. 1, 2, 3. And this is kind of going up slowly. I don't like, when they go up that slow, I'm thinking bigger flat. So I'm thinking this goes up some more, but then come back at the bottom here. So the upside for now is kind of limited. I think it's just going to get there. Go to the 1 hour. You actually have a buy setup. See, once this come back, and this is what we were looking for. It was right here. It didn't go anywhere. It just dropped a little. Let it come here, and then look for the buy. Maybe you can still sell it if you get a flag here, but I don't think you'll get a flag. And then look for the buy. The buy should come and break this top, and then from there it could go some more on the bigger picture before they come down. And S&P 500, we did this, we did S&P, we did all of them, right? We did all three, basically. This one should come here, go, and US 30, you know what to do. So this one actually is more upside too, right? So we have that, this should go more upside, way up to the top there. Yep, way up to the top here, but then there's a good chance, when you get to the top there, you could literally come back here. This could be all the correction and they'll keep going, but maybe not. But for now, this is heading upwards. At least back to the top, and then we'll see. Because you got a big flat here. You also had a big flat in this one. So, pretty much, that's it. Okay, so we've got that there now. Let's go. What else? What else you guys are looking at? Everything is pulling back, right? And that is normal. We expect them to pull back. Don't worry. The CAD is also pulling back. The CAD will just be in more corrections. So here's the thing. If you're stuck, the rest of them are profitable trade, right? You should get profit from them. But if the CAD is going to pull back, let me go to the 15 and show you what to do so you don't have to panic. Right, so we're all tagged in the CAD. I'm tagged in it, and this is pulling back. Don't worry, this might still come here and then go back up. Keep your stop somewhere under the low like this, or this might consolidate here and go. We're going upwards. If this is not all the pullback, then they're gonna do this here and then they're gonna go. This is still upside. We don't have any sell set up in it. The only time you're gonna close this trade here is if this starts to consolidate here, or if it goes back to the top and it starts to do this. Close the trade, close the trade. Any consolidation in this range is closing the trade. And put an entry above the top. See? Let's go. Any more thing, any questions, anything you want to look at? Bitcoin. Still upside. That pattern is still upside. That's a buy setup. See? An entry order above there for the buy. This was breaking the low. This one wasn't a sell. This one is for this to come, break that low, and then reverse and go back like that. Now, is this the one that is going to go out? I don't know. But if that's the one, you better be in the trade. Some traders are already in the trade in the 15 minutes. This morning, one guy asked whether that was a time. That was a great one, actually. One trader took it. And I don't know if he's with my group or not, but one trader took the 15-minute trade from there, which was perfect to the upside. Now we just need to put that to break even and watch, see if this breaks out or not. I'll be looking for the upside. And the same thing with Ethereum. Somebody want ETH, BTC. Let's see that one. Why you want to trade this one? I don't think this is going to move a lot because they both move, so this wouldn't move a lot. It's kind of useless to trade. It's going down, but it's going down really, really slow. See? So There's not much of a sell setup there, and I wouldn't sell it, but it's going down. What's the big picture of this? Oh, the big picture is actually upside. Strangely, the big picture is upside. This looks like it's going to go more up once you complete the pattern. So this one is coming down some more, and then look for this move to the upside. So yep, there's an upside coming here. Ethereum is a buy. We have the same pattern like in Bitcoin, with a very nice flag at the top here on the 1 hour. Come on. Very nice flag at the top there. And you're waiting for a buy setup. If it breaks through that top, it goes. Aussie USD, okay. We did Bitcoin, we did ETH already. Short term sell New Zealand dollar. Wait for a flag if you're going to sell it short term. If you were selling it, you should have sold it during the news when it was coming down from the top. We sold the Aussie and we sold the True Mirror during the news. So the short term and that will be, it doesn't have a lot more to the downside, so you have to be careful. Wait for a flag first. Aussie, we're in the sell and the Aussie. It's a little more downside as the Aussie cut, sorry. Aussie dollar. Yep, some more downside to break this low, and then we'll see what happens on that point. So if you're in the trade already, it should go. If it doesn't go, you'll take it out, wait for a flag, and then go as usual, right? But that's a good sell setup, actually. If it doesn't go now, we'll wait for a flag, and then we'll decide what to do with it, but it's good. I still think they're going to go a little. Aussie definitely is going to go a little more. New Zealand might go a little more. Pound, be careful with the pound now. It could go more, but keep an eye on it if it starts to turn. CAD is definitely going to go more up. Yen, we didn't take it, but it's going. Swiss has more up to go. We're not really buying the Swiss. Anybody wants to buy the Swiss, there's probably a small trade to the upside now before it drops. The New Zealand yen sell setup, let's see that. Yep, that sell setup is coming good. Put that entry order on. You should put this on because it could either be, first you're going to get a drop. And remember, if it is a contracting flat, we're expecting this and then up. But if this is a contracting flat here, this thing is going to go down a lot. So keep an entry under the low. If they drop to the bottom, you want the trade. It's a good sell. So I guess all of you find at least one trade that made profit today. And still the charts are still moving, so still good for you. Okay, let's see. What else? What other trades you want to look at? We can go look at them. I'll go through the majors again because we just had a dollar news, so just to keep everybody updated. Dollar index volume. Remember, this would not go up very long. Now, if they're actually coming to tag this top, they might go. They might still go, right? This is kind of a flat here. Watch this here. If they're going up, they'll probably just start making flag and go to get this top. If we're going down and we still don't know which one it is, because you wouldn't know which one it is when you have a series of moves, right? We have a move up. That's the first correction, first impulse against this move. We have a move down. We have a move up. We have a move down, and we have no pattern. Literally, we don't have any pattern. So that means we're either coming to break this top or we're coming to break this low before we create the first pattern. So if this stops and go down, we will sell it all next week. If this continues to go up, we will keep buying it all this week and all of next week. But when it breaks this top or when it breaks this low, we're going to go the opposite direction. So if you break the top, we're coming down. If you break the low, we're going up. See? And when that happens, we'll start to create the basic patterns for a bigger correction here and then downside. So all you're getting here is a daily correction. See? You are getting a daily correction in this range for downside. If you stay long enough with us, you'll see how that happens. So we don't have a pattern as yet. Anything you're going to go for is a contracting flat, and I don't trade contracting flats, so I'm not going with it. Take this for example. Look how long it takes to make this flat before they go up. But they actually went up really, really slow. Right? Look at this flat. 1, 2, 3 before you go up. You think this is big? Look at this one. That took forever, right? So this is pretty small. Don't chase it. You're still trading. You still just made some very good trades, right? We just made some very, very nice trades. So it's still very good. Now you're going to watch this very carefully here. Because if we're going to go down, if they're going down, they can stop and do this to come to this low. If they're going to continue to go up, they'll go a little more and then make a flag and then go a little more and make a flag and get to the top. So don't close the trade, just move your stops and follow it, or wait for consolidation to close. If you don't get consolidation, don't close it. AJ, let's look at that. Sell setup. You'll get the sell setup. It will take a while, but you'll get a sell setup here. You might look for this trade here, short term. Come here and then possible upside. I don't see a bigger downside in this. In the rare case, if it breaks through this structure, wait for a flag here and then continue to sell. So take the trade. We don't know which direction it's going to break. We have no idea what it's going to do. So if it breaks in that direction, good. Let's see. Anything else? Let's go. This morning, the webinar was really long. I think about 2 hours. We had yesterday, that webinar was 2 hours plus. We don't want to make it too long because other traders have to watch it too. So tell me what else you want to look at. We can look at them and then we can go. You guys know how to manage trade. You know how to take profit. You can't lose on the trades you're in. So good job. My traders know how to get out as well, right? So stay with your trades for now. Anything else you guys want to look at? Any questions? Let's take some questions. Any questions you have, general questions, anything. Go ahead, ask, and then we will go. We normally end the session with a very good general question that end up being very educational and understanding what you should and should not do when you're trading. Come on, let's go. Tell me what you're looking at. Let's go see what gold is doing. Gold is still going, right? It made a new low, so it's pretty good. You can stay with that. As long as you're making new lows, stay with it for a while. When it stopped making new lows and started to go sideways, that's when you decide to close it. The pound dollar, if you're in the pound dollar, keep an eye. It starts to pull back. The first pullback is not a problem. Euro CAD drop. Let's see. Okay, perfect. See how it follows the arrow? The arrow works well, right? So now that it is here, here's what you want. You want to see whether this is a flat for upside. And if it is a flat for upside, this is how you're going to trade this now. We're going to look for a buy setup to go one more to the upside and break this top, and then we're going to look for it to come back down. Right? If it makes any flag here, sell it for this one and sell it for that one. Right? See? Pretty easy. Nothing new. Patterns work like magic. Actually, you could have sold this if you were aggressive enough. I don't want to go with aggressive trades in here. But look for a buy setup now. See it starting to go back up. Look for a small flag. Get in the trade to the upside. Don't buy it now. You don't know it's going to stop. Wait for the flag. Get the trade. Right? Thank you guys for the support. I hope we can get more people in. Share the videos to people traders who are in different groups who have never seen this. And let them decide whether they like it or not. And before I leave, can you go over majors? Okay, let's do that now. I'll go over all the majors and we'll call it a day. You guys trade with K, right? So let's go. Dollar. Still going up, right? So you know how to do. Once it starts to consolidate, this is just a little pullback, don't worry. Once it starts to consolidate, close the trade. If it makes a flag, we'll continue to buy. If it makes a flag here now, we'll continue to buy tomorrow. If it comes down here, make a flag, we'll sell that. Gold, sorry, silver. Silver, be careful, silver will go back up. From this point, we'll start to get upside. You could drop a little more, right? Nobody says they can't drop a little more. We are not talking about precise point of turn. We're waiting for the turn. So this could come, but the trade you want now will be this trade tomorrow. That would be the trade you actually want. Gold also, it's going down right now, but it's going to stop at some point and it's going to turn and go back up, right? Remember, we don't have this, we don't have this. Even if we assume we have this one, which we don't, but if we assume we have this one anywhere, or that's a correction of its own, we still have to get this. So there's still at least one, come back down, go back up, complete this flat, and drop. There's one like that, right? Before you get a really big drop. Or we do this, and then we get a really big drop. So we could trade it back up, we'll trade it back down. Right? Just keep that in mind. Euro. Okay, so Euro came down. Look for buy setups. I expect this to start going back up like this. We need this move up. I don't think this is going to drop much more. I expect it to start going back up. We'll look for buy setups. Pound. Okay. At some point, we have to go back up for this sharp one too. This is a pretty sharp one. And at some point, that thing starts going back up for that sharp one. We'll get an impulse, we'll get a flag, we'll start to buy. So you may want to consider taking off your pound. We did break the low. Could be the turning point. Aussie. Aussie will probably go a little more. I think there's a good chance they might go a little more. If you don't like the trade at any point, then it starts to consolidate there, take it off. But there's a chance they might break this low before it turns. Right? There's a good chance they're going to break this low, and then we'll start to look for upside. Aussie will also consolidate deeper to the upside before they drop by. But you're in the trade, just manage it. If it's not going within the next 2-3 hours, close it. Right now, it could be making a small flag here for a sell. New Zealand, same thing. It broke the low. Look for the turning point. At some point, it's going to go back up for a deeper correction or for total upside. I don't think this one is going to go down very much. If it makes a flag, then we'll assume it's going to go down very much. Yen. If you're in the buy, you may want to take profit. If you took the buy, take profit, close it. This could start to reverse. It's in this channel, and this channel tend to drop to the downside. This channel tend to sometimes very, very fast drop like that, right, before they start doing anything else. So keep your eyes on this. As a matter of fact, for my traders, put your entry order in for the sudden drop if it should happen. You know how to do that. Get the entry order in there. Should there be a sudden drop, you don't want to miss the trade. That's what my traders, they know they know the rules of engagement of that one, should that happen. Swiss. Okay, magic works. It's going to come to the top and then it's going to drop. So let's see now. Let's go there. We're going for the downside. Look for this move down. That is the equivalent of this. See this? An equivalent of this move to the downside now. Wait for a flag. Wait for it to stop. Make a flag. Go down back. I think it's easy. You've seen this pattern like a million times. You got this. You get a correction. You get a drop. You go back up like this. You complete this one. And you probably come back then and go back up before we drop. So you're going to be here for a day more. You'll get to see. And if though for those of you who join us either in the installment or fully, you'll get to see how it works all day long. Every day. Yep. It's still positive, and I still think this is going to go quite a lot. If it starts to consolidate, get rid of it. Take this small profit pause or small. It's not going to be a loss. Take it for positive or break even, and then we'll see. But this could move even if nothing else moves. Even if everything reverses, this could still go up because we don't have a downside for this as yet. Nowhere in this structure, I think this is going to go down. So this could be a CAD movement starts to happen all by itself. Right? So keep an eye on that. That is for the majors. Let's see. Okay, I missed something. Before you leave, we did that. Thank you. Thank you guys for your support. Gold might see a reversal to new high as a running flat on daily. Not as yet. We spoke about that. We did it already, but that will take a while. It could possibly go there. as a running flat. Yeah, we did that. That I think that was on the Wednesdays, the first or the second webinar we did. Look at it. I did it in all time frame details. I know you since since I was the number one trader. That's years ago, my friend. That was like a million years ago when I was on TradingView. There was no second to me. They literally got scared. The TradingView people got scared because everybody started supporting me too strong. And when the hashtag came out, they said, "Oh, we have to get rid of this guy. You're getting rid of your best trader," because that's a good thing to do. Well, that's the point is nobody wants to educate traders. But I understand TradingView. Their thing is not about knowledge. That website is not about knowledge you're getting. That website is about accumulating a lot of people so you can sell that to brokers. I'm okay with that. That's a business strategy. Nothing is wrong. They have a business strategy. They have charts, good charts. The charts. You notice I'm still using their charts because I haven't found the chart as good as this chart is yet. Their charting package is excellent. I told them that many times. But their website is a mess. It's a home room for it's a place for all the craziness you can imagine. And for them it doesn't matter because their interest is what they're doing right now, getting a lot of brokers to come there. The more you accumulate traders on a platform, the more brokers sign up and pay for it. Nothing's wrong with that. The reason I was speaking out is because I wanted to be professional. I wanted them to get more professional kind of charts being posted. One of the things I asked them to do is to make sure that the people who are posting charts are actually real traders. And they didn't want to do it because they said that will reduce the amount of charts that are being posted. Well, hey, not my problem. That's their problem, not mine. Let's go. Because there's a lot of traders who do short term. Most of the traders are not capable of doing long term trading. So here is the fun fact. I was trading a $500,000 account, I think you know. And we were trading long term. And we were upside down on some of the trades, but they were long term trades. That was the first one I traded, not the second one, the first one. The second one is a more sad story because my investor died. I never mentioned that, I never spoke it anywhere. He died and they closed the account. The account had to be closed because it's in his name and when somebody died. And we were in the drawdown. The silver did go where we wanted to go, but we were in drawdown in some of the silver trades. Some were positive, some were in drawdown because we were buying a lot of it. And the account had to be closed. So I never mentioned that. But the first one, we were trading the pound trades. And we were slightly upside down and this guy panicked. And when it came back to close the break even, he said, let's close everything. He got back all his money and he got back even a couple thousand, I think about $10,000 or $15,000 profit. He got back from it. But that's not profit on a $500,000. But he got positive and everything. And had he not closed it, he himself mentioned it. When he watched where those pound trades actually went, not only would we have doubled the account, we probably would have 5 times the account. With the trades that we had on. And the trades were in good condition. So what I learned is that most traders cannot handle long term. Long term is more of an investment strategy. You have to have investment type mentality. And most traders, most ordinary people like us don't have that. I can do it. I have the stamina for it. I just don't have the capital for it. Right? So that was a sad moment there. I can even show you where it was and where we closed it. We closed some trades for profit, some for loss, so we closed them for break even, and then we allow the other trades to ride out to break even and then close them, and then watch it drop like crazy. It was the punk cat. We had a lot of other trades, but the punk cat was the one that panicked. I'll show you it, it's here. I would never forget that. It was in this move here. We were selling the punk cat. So we had trades that we sold from these there. We had trades that we sold here, and we had trades that we sold here. And then we started selling some more trades from the top here, right? And I think it was somewhere in this one when this actually started to go up. Because now it put almost all the trades upside down. And he literally panicked. He was, oh my God, we're going to have problem. what if it goes and it breaks the stop? We will be really, really almost losing there. I was like, don't worry about that. It's not going to happen. This is a consolidation. This one is going to drop. So when it started to drop, he was pretty okay. Okay, we're back to normal, right? It's starting to come back here. And when this started to go up, he was like, no, I can't do this anymore. We have to close some of them. So we close all of these trades here for positive. We close some of these here for break even. We close some of these that I took here and I took in here for slightly negative. Some of them in here for in this piece were slightly negative. We kept some of these, few of them. So when it came back to this level here, we literally closed them. I think it was $10,000 or $15,000 profit in total on a $500,000 account. We closed them, he closed the account, and he watched this happen. When it got here, he was so relieved that he got out for positive. We didn't lose anything that he got, that he was happy to close it. And then watch this happen. That's the power of wave analysis. But do you have the stamina to do it? You're thinking from here to there. That's a period of time that you have to live through. I would never forget that moment. But that's trading. That's trading for you. We all learn. We live and we learn. Those are situations. I don't keep regrets very much of things that happen. If it is to happen, it might happen at some point. Let's go. Let's go trade. So what I find, especially smaller retail traders, is they want an instant gratification trade now. They want this trade now. I don't want the trade for next week or the week after. Give me this trade here now, and I'm okay with it. So I will give them this trade here now. On TradingView, I used to post 1 hour trades. So we do most very short-term trades because most traders can't handle the longer-term trade. They think they can or they hope they can, but they can't. So we go for the shorter-term trades. It's trading. It's things I don't talk about. I really don't like to talk about them. It's not the best things to go. So let's just go on. Right? Get the trades, get your profit, close your trades for the day, and move on. Okay, guys, I think all of you know what to do. We will not make this video too long. It's too long. See all of you tomorrow. Please share the videos. Make sure more people join us. And we'll trade. We'll make money. You're in the trade. By the way, gold is still going. Yep. It didn't pull back. You're getting a little pullback, but it's still there, right? It's kind of consolidating here now for a smaller one. If it starts to turn, you can take profit. If this starts to get bigger consolidation, take profit. Right? The first pullback candle is not the problem. It's if it starts to do more, then you take profit. And see all of you tomorrow. Bong Yen sell coming. Let's go for that. Okay. Yep. You want to keep it under the low because you don't want this. See this piece here? That's likely going to be 1, 2, 3. And it could go back up. So you don't want this to tag you and go back up. You want to keep it under this impulse here. See that move up there? You want to keep it under that. So if they go back up there, then it could spend some more time here before it drops. So in that case, you would have to worry. Okay, guys, everybody trade with care. I would see all of you tomorrow. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye. Don't forget to watch any of the videos you missed. Bye.